Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am YamatoCannon, the host of this very unique and revolutionary show, Ask Me Anything, number 23. If you have any questions, ask them on Discord, the YamatoCannon subreddit, or the Patreon. I also invite you to subscribe. You don't have to, but if you would like to, ring the bell and you will see whenever these videos kind of show up. Let's jump into the questions. Snake asks, will you hire a translator or do something else to get rid of the language barrier? Yes, I am actively learning the language. I'm communicating with the players and we are figuring out our dynamic of how we communicate. Usually when you're put in a situation where you're forced to communicate with someone, you figure it out. I noticed I learned German for 8 years in school. And honestly, I had decent grades. I had like B+, A, around there. I skated by. But I could never speak or communicate my thoughts in conversation. Where I learned the most amount of German was when I lived the language. When I was spending time with my girlfriend's parents, which they speak Russian, they speak German, and naturally I gravitated towards German. I spoke to them in German, and just because I was forced in that situation, I threw myself into it because I didn't want to be, embarrassing. I wanted to create a relationship with them. So I forced myself to learn. This is just how humans work in my experience. When you're forced to communicate with someone, you find a way. And that's not necessarily through language. You can do pointing, you figure out, you learn the cues, the facial expressions, the body language. Every part of it is so important, and eventually you figure out a way. It's always been the same as well, in my teams in the past. For example, Vitality, we had, no matter how much like everyone speaks some sense of English, and it's a bit of an easier situation because the idea is that we speak English. But when Vitality started, I had no clue what Jizuki was saying. He had a very strong Italian accent. I was like, Jizuki, can you write it down for me? Or for example, Jacktroll as well, very heavy Polish accent. And we had one Korean player, one Polish player, one Portuguese player, one French player. Sure, the language was English, but still there were some things that we needed to kind of force ourselves to understand and to learn. This is going to be a bit more complicated, a bit more of a complicated situation, but I'm really throwing myself into it and really forcing myself to find a way to communicate. It's very important that you don't give up. You don't give up, you don't let something rest. My purpose is to really live the language, live the culture. And I began. I'm watching series, I'm learning the language, I'm looking for tutors. I'm going to learn from my translator. We have a translator. I'm committing wholeheartedly into it, and I'm communicating with the players, and we're figuring out, they're learning some English words that I'm saying, I'm learning some phrases that they're saying, and with time there will be a repertoire, there will be a dynamic, there will be a soul, there will be a relationship, and this is something that always occurs when there are dedicated parties. Genius, now that's a good name. Hello Yamato, make some noise and tell me who is the best match you've ever seen and why. Honestly, in my most recent memory, I really enjoyed Toby Esports vs IG. Was amazing. I think G2 versus SKT Game 4 was honestly also really good. Game 5 G2 against SKT was also wow. Was honestly like such a breath of fresh air. Rarely you get to see new things, and as a person that has played League of Legends for a very long time, very long time, there are very few things that excite me, as a fan of the game. And when I get to see the game played in a new way, that's just exciting, I want to learn about it, to explore it, figure out if it actually makes sense. Is it good? Can it be punished? That just awakens something in me, and I feel, there are other things than just games that make me feel this way, especially when I get to dig deep and try to figure out the meta and you try to break it, but these games make me feel some type of way, and I'm sure there are many others in the past. I remember like old rookie echo performances that pushed them to Worlds qualification, I remember those games specifically because they actually had Pro View back in, this was season 5, and that was honestly amazing. This was when Rookie played with Kakao on IG, and this was the World Championship where Tabe revealed strategies.
There's also other two secret weapon is this.
Well, let's not give away all their secret weapons. Let's not give away all their secret weapons. Come on. Now, let's...
But yeah. Let's move on. Dasch. You guys have some crazy names. Hi Yamato, I'm going to start coaching a diamond team. I had coached, but just personally some people of the same level. Some tips. I think it's important not to bore people. You know, it's important that you unite your players behind the same problem, regardless of what it is. It's very important that if there is a bot lane issue, that you bring everyone together, because you don't want anyone to be outside and just sit on Facebook and click around. You want to involve everyone. And then always try to take everything piece by piece. If you try to throw too many things at once, it becomes confusing. But at the same time, you want to, as a coach, have an overview of everything. Look for opportunities in everything for improvement. But when you present it to the players, make it digestible, you know, make it digestible. It's very important, and make sure that everyone unites. Ray of Darkness, hey Yamato, are you going to review the LCK and LPM mid-season cup? Yes, I will, but not publicly. Because this is my competition. This is my competition, and it would be a conflict of interest for me to put this information out publicly. I only do reviews when it is, you know, whether it's like some NA game that is, you know, extra hype and I have some spare time, or I am currently out of the competitive season. So if you really want those reviews, you should just hope that I don't succeed. But be nice. Sauron Squidmane? What on earth? What are some of your goals for Sandbox Gaming that you can share with us? I want to make sure, which I would do in any team, is I want to make sure that the team is on a path of progress. I think in a lot of cases, many teams are not on the path of progress. There's a path of stagnation, and there's a constant issue that is not being tackled and solved. And for me, it's just the most important thing is that we are, as a team, together on the path of improvement, that we feel like we're moving in a direction that everyone agrees with. This is what keeps people happy, this is what keeps people motivated, and this is my #1 goal. Whatever results come after that is just the side effect of having a beautiful and effective process. So this is my main focus and main goal. Jen Giannis, who's the GOAT besides Faker? Kind of the second GOAT. Ooh. The first name that comes to mind is, I think Rookie is definitely up there. I think Rookie, I think Deft, Uzi, The Shy. The issue is Faker has longevity, Rookie has longevity. So that's why I put Rookie there naturally on second. The Shy hasn't been around for that long. Like, he's been around for long, but not as long as Rookie. Like, Rookie won LCK in the past, you know, and then went on to China, and he has won the LPL, and he has won multiple regions, and he's just a crazy good player that has kept up, you know, for such a long time. If we think of Western names, obviously Perks would be a part of that conversation, because ever since he joined, he's had such a significant impact to what European League Legends is, which is crazy, which is absolutely crazy. You know, he's you know, the 1 year where G2 didn't win both splits. This was the split where he 1v9 against RNG and went up against IG. Sure, they got stomped, but they beat RNG, which was super cool. And you know, the other years Perks was winning every split, which is amazing. You know, Perks has been a key factor of defining European sports. I think longevity is something that I look at. I would put Rookie second. I know there are like eras where one player sticks out. You know, like there is an era where Dandy was insane, but to put him up for the conversation of GOAT, longevity is too important for me. So this is my consideration. But this could be a topic where we could discuss so much. So this is a very short answer to a question that can be so big. So let's put a pin in it. Jack Z 12222. Your 2020 LEC Summer Split team ranking. Thank you for your answer. Thank you for your question. I would put G2 first. Whoa, surprise Pikachu. I would put Fnatic second. Whoa, surprise Pikachu. I would put OG third place. Wow, didn't you see Mad Lions beat G2? I think Origin is a bit underrated. I think it's a bit underrated. I think Kaze is not helping them at all on Twitter. He's of course fighting for his team. I get it. But I think Origin is a bit underrated. I think they did pretty well against Fnatic and G2. I think they did better than the other teams, and I think they have really strong lanes. Like when I say lanes, I mean like they have Alpsid is very good, Nuktak is very good, Alfari is very good. Nuktak is very underrated, but he's really good, and I think this carries a lot of weight. I think Origin have good preparation, and I think this is puts them a solid third place. Fourth place, honestly, with Misfits acquiring Kobe, I am inclined to put them potentially fourth, but I am so impressed by Kaiser and Karzi that I think it carries them to fourth, Mad Lions. I'm just so goddamn worried about Orome. But the issue is, when I think of comparing the top laners, I'm not super impressed by Dan. So I think both top laners have like some weaknesses, and I think in the wrong meta, both top laners can have some issues. If we look at the other teams in the top 3, they don't have like super glaring weaknesses where like a specific meta is going to throw them off balance completely. Maybe Origin, if it's like a complete early game meta where like Jace, Elise, and so forth is going to be super strong and you need to snowball games out of control in order to break the game. Sure, that could be a problem, but it's not like OG had super weak early games. It was just their mid game and late game that kind of slowed down a lot, which can be a danger for these early game conversations that I mentioned. I just don't think the teams below are so meta resilient. So okay, we have Misfits and Mad Lions. I would put Mad Lions fourth. I think Misfits fifth, and then it's just, as I'm having this conversation, I forget about Rogue too. It's just that I am very unexcited about Rogue. Very unexcited about Rogue because I just feel like they are baby Origin. And being baby Origin is not what you want to be in order to, you know, beat the best of the best. I think maybe there's a world where you can put Rogue over Misfits, but I am very intrigued by the Kobe Denic duo. I think they have a lot of potential, very high potential. So I put Rogue 6th. Then I put Schalke 7th, 8th I would put Excel, and then Vitality 9th, and then SK 10th. But of course, this everything can, like, this is just a prediction. This could be completely meaningless. I don't know what's going on in scrims. I don't even know all the roster moves. So please take it with a grain of salt. You know, don't be offended, any player or team out there. This is just a prediction. Shy Orcs, tell us something about Team Solo Mebdi. So, you know, so there was this time we were boot camping before our tournament, where we had to qualify for the LCS. We were super hyped because we were stomping everyone. You know, I was playing AD carry back then. I was so ahead of the meta. You know, everyone was picking Graves, Corki, Ezreal. You know what the fuck I was playing? I was playing Kog'Maw, Tristana. I was playing Ashe, and I was just fucking outscaling them, outlaning them. I was just big brain. And then I was using health quints on Kog'Maw, and I was just walking around level 1 with 800 HP, and they just couldn't all in me. It was just so big brain, so ahead of the meta. These bot laners didn't know what hit them. Nevertheless, I took a break. So we were boot camping in a gaming cafe. I took a break and I was playing some Guitar Hero. You guys know how good I am at Guitar Hero, right? It's so fucking easy, right? I'm just fucking playing Guitar Hero, right? I'm playing Guitar Hero. I'm playing through the Fire and Flames. I'm doing 100%. And then Jensen comes to me. So he's like, Yamato, you need to come. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, you need to come. You need to come now. I'm like, what the fuck? I pause, put down the guitar, put down the guitar, and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, dude, we got banned. I'm like, no, you're joking. You're joking. He's like, we got banned. We all got banned. I look at the PCs. I see on my PC, banned. This account has been banned till year 2203. So this was a permaban, right? 200 years of ban. Unless there's some insane technology where they freeze me and I'm gonna be unfrozen in 200 years. I am gonna play on that account again, whatever. Every PC just had, we got banned. And I get angry. I'm like, oh, because I spend money on the boot camp. We commit so much time. I spent 1 month. I was just talking with Riot Games. Everything was in the clear. Everything was good. We were all solid. We were all good. And I get angry. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I get angry at them because instantly I'm thinking Jensen or Darkwing just fucked something up. I get fucking angry. I contact Riot Games, but it's so late in the night. And then as I get angry, I start hitting the table and shit. And then I hear Darkwing Jack says, you know, he's just fucking, and then he just fucking starts laughing. And then apparently they trolled me. They logged in on their old fucking permaband accounts just to troll me, right? They just fucking trolled me. And then I was like, you fuckers, you know, you fuckers. And then the next day, we're supposed to go to the airport. We're supposed to fly. And that's when Riot called me up and said, hey, you guys are permabanned. You guys can't fucking come to the event. Jesus. So Jensen, Darkwing Jackson, El Mupo got banned. They had the ban 3. They had the ban 3 in order for us not to be eligible to enter the tournament because at the time, there were no rules. We could point in the crowd like, hey, you, mustache, come play. You, blonde hair, you play with us. Top lane? Okay, top lane. Play top lane. It's okay. Like, there were no rules in place of who you could place in the team. So obviously they need ban 3. El Mupo, the guy who got banned 3rd, he had like a permaban account because he did account sharing, and like they just made this whole write-up about how El Mupo is toxic and all, and they just removed him and banned him. And it was funny. You know, it was funny. Like, we were in the clear. We had communication with Riot Games always. Everything was in the clear, and they just realized that for a month straight that they had made a huge mistake, and they just pulled the plug. And of course, with the massive post that they had prepared about you know, what my teammates had done in the past, it was easy to get the community sentiment behind them. But we got kind of fucked. You know, we got kind of fucked because we were promised something, and I would have been crazy to believe that you know, this is gonna just go unnoticed. So obviously I made precautions, and I had the word of some people that eventually was meaningless because some people above them just pulled the plug, which I get. It was a long time ago. This was season 3, so obviously we are in different times. But that's a small story about Team Solo Mebdi. It was some good time. But you were also forced to rename. They didn't like me. They didn't like us being called Team Solo Mebdi. They wanted us to rename. But we had a sponsor and a team lined up, a really big team. We were supposed to join Navi if we qualified to the LCS, and that was pretty sad. I was hyped to join Navi. Okay, that's it for this week's AMA. Thank you so much for joining and listening in on the questions and answers. Thank you so much for your questions. Join the YamatoCannon subreddit, Discord. Subscribe. It feels so unnatural to say subscribe, but I've read many times that it actually has a positive effect on channels, so I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, sell out. All the best to all of you. Peace and cheerio. Not the ones you put in milk, just cheerio.